Hi, everyone. Silva Quesada here for today's live webinar. And I'm really excited to be here to talk about a whole new project that we have going. And we'll talk more about that as we go. And welcome you to this webinar on how the Silva method enhances the healing process. I want to start by basically saying that we got some really good feedback from everyone in the group, or from a lot of people who are in the group, and basically focusing on some of the issues or the areas that people want to improve in their lives as to how it pertains to the Silva method. And a lot of it had to do with anxiety and fear and insomnia and things of that nature, which all these things, of course, influence or impact the health of an individual when they get out of hand or when they get imbalanced and all that kind of things that we already know. But I really do want to say that the Silva method is a very comprehensive program that helps to enhance all areas of your life. In a couple of weeks, as a matter of fact, I believe on the 21st of April, we're going to put on a special course, a mentorship program, a masterclass, if you will. It's called the Silva Healing of Yourself and Others Master Course. And that particular course engages what we teach in the Silva method. So you're going to hear a blend of information that you may have already heard in Silva, but the main focus is going to be on healing. And as the title says, not just healing yourself, but being able to have enough content, information, and confidence to help your loved ones or others in the healing process. Now, again, the Silva method has always taken an approach to healing that's very holistic. My father, Jose Silva, founder of the Silva method, had always recognized the fact that we really needed to be holistic in our approach, or in his approach in Silva, in order to literally improve the quality of your living experience. And he really focused heavily on the use of mind, the power of mind, the immense power that we all have inherently to improve the quality of our life, the quality of our love relationships, of our professional environments, about everything, especially our health. And the focus that he always had was how do we become better individuals? And by far, he always recognized the fact that the quality of life and your living experience that really should be a joyous one, a healthy and happy one, needs to start with your health. Because if you don't have health, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much love you might have, no matter how much anything you might have, it's not going to be enjoyed the same. If you're ill, if you have health issues, health problems, if you can't move, you can't walk, you can't enjoy your living experience because you can't run or walk or play with your children or grandchildren, whatever it might be. And so we really want to focus on how does the Silva method approach really impact the healing process, and then carry that forward so that we can share those tools, techniques, or those things that you will be learning with the people that you care for the most. And we work with, as I mentioned, not only the mind, but we also are going to touch with the spirit, the body, the emotions, yes, the mind. We'll add in a little bit of the intuitive aspect. All of that involves not only brain function and how our body works and the mind-brain connection, the mind-body-brain connection, but also the whole spiritual aspect that really does influence health and healing and the quality of our life and living experience. And we do a lot in the Silva method, as you probably already know. We do a lot that has to do with imagery, because that's what the mind can do. Faculties of the mind, faculties and qualities and power of the mind that is inherent with everybody. Everybody does this. That really does engage things like desire, belief, expectancy, of what you really want to achieve in your living experience. That engages very much so imagery, because the mind can picture things, can experience things, it engages that you are in the experience of of outcome, which is where you want to take your body, your life, your love, everything that you want to improve in your living experience, will happen first in the world of mind, which is spiritual in nature, and before it can happen in the world of physics or in the outer world. So a lot of the concepts that we're going to be engaging is how does the world of mind play a role in your living experience? And that's going to engage in great part things like your belief structures, what you believe to be true in your life, what you believe to be true about health and healing, what you believe to be true about what you deserve to enjoy and have in your living experience. There's a lot of deep content that we're going to be covering in 8 weeks of training. 8 weeks of training that engage us in a variety of ways. We'll have Zoom calls once a week where we can be free to get to know each other, ask questions, be able to engage with one another's ideas as well. And in these Zoom meetings, now they're scheduled for about an hour. But if you ask some of the other people who have joined me in these types of trainings, we will take it as long as you need information. This particular type of approach to our trainings that last, could be 8 weeks, 12 weeks, they're very customized to the people who show up, the people in the group. So although we have an agenda that we like to follow, and we will follow, the main focus is what do you need in order for you to heal? What do you need in order for you to be able to help your loved ones heal? What information, what confidence, what ability, what knowing, what tools and techniques, we cover all of that. We have a lot of practice sessions as well. In fact, Irina, many of you have communicated with and talked with, will be coming down from Estonia to me here in Texas, in Laredo, so that we can work together as we initiate the beginning of this program, because we both work very closely in making sure that we are providing you with what you require for you to have a positive outcome in the training. And this training's focus is strictly going to be, predominantly, I should say, is going to be on the healing process. You deserve to have health. You deserve to have everything that you need and desire to live a wonderful, joyous life. And your body is equipped to provide that for you. Sometimes other things get in the way. Our lifestyle habits, which we'll talk about, our belief structures, as I mentioned, our daily practices, things that we do in a day, like lifestyle, of course. A lot of these things will get in the way. Our thinking interrupts sometimes and degrades us and belittles us, and that's not good for the healing process. Doubt, fear, confusion, all of these things get in the way. Stress and anxiety. So these are the things that we want to make sure you have the tools to overcome, override, and manage successfully, so that your body can go back to doing what it knows how to do already, which is heal. And we're going to approach it in a very unique individual basis, so that everybody who has a special need perhaps will either provide you with the tools that you need, or will research those tools, or will reach out to others who have some additional knowledge. We always bring it back to you so that you can work on these things. And we want to make sure that you feel as confident as possible at the end of the program, that you will heal yourself, that you will become healthier and stronger along the way. And although we'll touch upon things that you may need individually that have to do with stress and anxiety and things like that, we'll also touch upon new forms of or approaches to the healing process. We're going to discuss healing tools that we can work with using electrical energy, magnetic energy, and the human energy field, such as in the laying on of hands. We'll learn how to use our energy to energize water, for instance. We're going to bring in some maybe novel topics and some old age or age-old topics, but they all come together to work for your healing and your well-being. When you begin to experience any symptom, any sign that your body is telling you it needs something, You will become very self-aware of what your body is needing. Maybe you need more fluid. I went for a run this morning, and usually when I run, I use up a lot of energy and sweat a lot, and I don't always hydrate as quickly as I need to. So my body's telling me you need to drink more fluids. Keep the fluids, kind of going through your system so you can have ease and talking and all that kind of stuff. But when we don't pay attention, then things can get a little bit worse and can continue to evolve in a different direction. When I run, for example, and I feel any ache or any kind of sensation as small as or as minor as it may be, even as I'm running, I focus attention on that particular aspect. Sometimes if my knee feels a little strange, then I imagine myself injecting it with a collagen or injecting it with a cushioning aspect, more cartilage or whatever it might be, whatever comes to my mind as I'm running. And I immediately feel a relief. Now, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been running for like over 40 years. I'll be 71 this year. And so I'm still doing my 7 miles a day. And so I'm always tending to the body as things happen. And I think it's important for us to recognize that part of what we'll be talking about during this particular course in that will last 8 weeks is in part one of the tools is how do you respond to your body? How do you become very conscious and very aware of what your body is telling you and needing from you so that we can address it right away? In the process, we use imagery and visualization, as I just mentioned. I can drink fluids. I can imagine my throat getting lubricated. As I'm running, I can imagine injecting into my joints cartilage and oil, like a little tin can, or having like a little tin can in my mind. I imagine as if I'm the tin man with a tin can of oil, and then I'm oiling all my joints so I can be free to move. And imagery or visualization is part of what we do to harness that power of the mind to positively influence our mental attitudes and activate the healing process within the body. And you can do that on the spot, as you just observed, offering benefits like pain reduction or anxiety control and improved well being as you go throughout your living experience. Imagery works in a miraculous way. A lot of people really don't get or grasp the idea as to how imagery can impact the body. But there is a mind body connection that we're very well aware of. The body doesn't distinguish between real and imagined experiences. And there's been research that has shown that time and time and time again that it just doesn't, it can't distinguish. It experiences everything as real. So when you visualize a healing process, the same brain regions activate or are activated as if the event was actually happening. So if you imagine yourself healing, then your body, brain, and mind participate as if the healing is actually occurring. If I imagine that I need more fluid, or if I imagine that my joints need more cushioning in the joints because I've been running for a long, long time, then I immediately imagine that being there so that it can then respond in that same nature and allow me to be free to run, to be free to speak, to be free to do whatever I want to do. The mind also, and imagery, because imagery, visualization, imagination, which are two aspects of imagery, are faculties of the mind. So when you engage imagery, you can also regulate your emotions for that matter. Imagery can help reduce stress and promote relaxation, which in turn supports the healing mechanisms that the body naturally has. It also enhances healing by visualizing positive outcomes and the body's healing capabilities. You can foster a mindset that's very conducive to recovering faster and improving the rate of healing, even after surgeries or after injuries or anything of that nature. the healing can release chemistry in your body that's going to help uh, you in the healing process. And there's a way of doing it that we are going to show you during this 8-week program. Just in the same manner, we're going to cover pain management, self pain management, because in the same way that we can use imagery to reach our goals, to be able to manage our stress and anxiety, be able to sleep comfortably at night, and be able to reach our income levels that we wish, we can also manage pain and release chemistry within our body to manage the pain on a very effective manner, reducing the intensity of pain, improving the tolerance you might have to pain procedures and things of that nature. And imagery is going to also help improve the quality of your life and living experience, because before it can possibly happen, you have to imagine it. You have to experience it within so it can happen without, and your outer experience. And along the way, we're going to learn how to use specific techniques to be able to do just that. Guided imagery is just one, but you also have healing imagery. You have laying on of hands type of approaches. You have water that can be utilized for healing self and others as well. You have a myriad of tools and techniques. You have psychological tools, emotional tools that we're going to be sharing with you along the way so you can reach your goal of health as you deserve to have health. And there's a lot of benefits that come with being able to have that power and use that power in a very effective way so you can achieve everything you want and deserve in life to the way that you want to experience it. And this is something that we're going to share with you throughout the 8-week period that we're going to be together. We're going to have a lot of great discussions. We're going to be really focused deeply into your specific needs, because it's important for me, as you might find out or have talked to other people, it's really important for me for you to succeed. I know you can do this. I've seen it happen time and time again. There's just a certain amount of things that we need to do in the beginning, and to understand the dynamics of brain in relationship to mind, in relationship to body, and the spiritual aspect of what we experience within with desire, belief, expectancy, imagery, emotions, all these different things that come together in a very magical way to allow the healing process to occur and achieve health and well-being. Okay, so I really want to share that we do take a very holistic approach when it comes to health and healing. We approach it from, yes, the body aspect. And when we talk about the body, there's a lot of things that you already know will help you to become healthy, but for whatever reason may not be willing to do. And I'm not sure what they are yet, because I don't know you yet. But the body needs to have plenty of rest, needs to have exercise, proper nutrition. It needs to have quality of air and breathing. It needs to sleep, not just rest, but also have good, healthy sleep. It needs to have connections to other people. And these are just a few of the things that are required for the body to, and plenty of fluids, as you saw in my case right now. But it needs to have enough of all these things to sustain itself as healthy and strong and vibrant. And the thing is that a lot of us, although we know this, we don't do them. All of you know about nutrition, water, exercise, sleep, rest, connectivity with people, but do we do all of those things in a way that will provide our body to be healthy and strong and healthy and strong? No, we struggle with obesity, heart problems, diabetes for the same reason that we don't eat properly, we don't exercise properly, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to take it to whatever you are capable of doing and want to do, and hopefully encourage you to be even better at what you're doing. That's all. Maybe give you right information, good tools to work with, maybe a better understanding where you say, now I get it. Now it all makes sense. And now I know what I can do to make it happen. It's really important that we really incorporate all these tools, all these learnings together and make it happen, because you're the only one who can make it happen. You're the only one who can participate in the healing process. And let's not forget that we also have a wealth of tools around us. Call our doctors, our health caretakers, our psychologists, our psychiatrists, our physiologists, who all can come in to help in the healing process as well. We're not going to exclude them, but you must participate. You can't just say, oh, they're going to heal me. They'll do it for me. I'm going to try a new medicine and just let them do all the work. You can't do that because you have these three fingers pointing right back at you. You're the one that's going to take the greatest or play the greatest role in your healing process. But what happens is that a lot of people don't know what that role is supposed to be. They don't know how to play that role. They don't know what they need to do to help the healing process. I totally, totally, totally encourage everyone to incorporate the use and the benefits of having a health caretaker, but you need to participate along the way to speed up the process. And what we also want to talk about here more than anything else is prevention. How do we prevent getting ill? How do we maintain health for the rest of our lives and even die in perfect health? It can be done. It has been done millions and upon millions of times. I myself know quite a number of people who just decided it was time for them to go at a ripe age of 97, 96, 94. And it was just their time to go. And they were not sick. They just closed their eyes and they went to sleep. And that was it. And it may be something we may want to consider, make maybe a deal with one another. Let's go in perfect health. When it's time for us to make a transition, we make it willingly and happily because it's time to go. Our time's up and we're ready to move on. Not in pain, not because we are in with illness of any kind, not because we're diseased, nothing like that. It's just our choice to move on. Anyways, but going back to what we're talking about with the Silva method, it takes a holistic approach. So we'll talk about the body and we'll talk about things that help the body to heal and the requirements the body has to heal. But then we'll also talk about the mind. The mind needs to be positive all the time. The mind needs to incorporate imagery, visualization, which is going over what we already know exists, and imagination, which is what we want to create for ourselves in the future as we move through time. But it needs to incorporate those two faculties of mind, as well as the ability to solve problems, because the more problems you solve, the more successful you become. Let's let's reframe our approach to problems as a gift that we have for growth, personal growth and development. And the more problems you solve, the less you tend to have them or create them because you know how to avoid them. You know how to satisfy the needs of your body, your life, your family, whatever, so that the problems don't occur, don't surface. You become more aware, not only of self, but of your surroundings and of others as well. So we have the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body. A lot of us choose to ignore the emotional body because it takes too much work. We don't want to deal with past traumas or issues. We don't want to deal with things that have hurt us emotionally. And the reality is, when you have that emotional pain, it shows up in your body. How else? So a lot of people with a lot of emotional pain, a lot of emotional trauma are not very healthy people. So if those pains and traumas do exist, we definitely are going to work with the emotional aspects that may be troubling you, and you can eliminate them once and for all, get rid of them, make peace with them, and move forward with health. Okay. So physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we need to have that spiritual element as well to kind of work for a greater good, a higher cause, bringing gratitude, appreciation, love to the whole scene of our physical and mental experiences or spiritual experiences, because it's important for us to be uplifted in all aspects of our life and to satisfy the needs of all of our parts, spirit, mind, body, and emotions. Because when you are healthy in each one of those parts, then you are holistically healthy. You can't be healthy in spirit, mind, and emotions and then have an unhealthy body. It doesn't work that way. So it all works together. It's all connected. And when we realize that, and we realize what is lacking in our lives and what we can do to better it, and we have the tools to make it better, then we're able to upgrade our life, our living experience, and our health along the way. And we're going to take that approach, utilize the tools that Silva has to offer, and tools that are more advanced in nature that we don't offer in any of our audio programs, because they're really more of a personal thing that we want to teach one-on-one, more as live as it can be, like in this way. And that's why we have the Zoom calls on a regular basis once a week. The Zoom calls, like I said, they're scheduled for an hour, but sometimes we go 2 hours, an hour and a half, whatever time you need to make sure that we satisfy all of your questions and all of your needs. That's what we do. And we give you so much information and so much other additional ancillary information that can help you individually in your healing process. We have platforms that you can communicate with me on a daily basis. You can contact me on these platforms that we have, that we can write questions and we can answer the questions easily throughout the day, every day for 8 weeks. I'm with you step by step every single day. And if you look at some of the commentaries, or if you meet people who've been to the programs before, they'll vouch on that. I mean, we give as much as we can, because our main goal is for you to achieve your goals, the goals that you have set with this program, or better than that. And we are going to incorporate some of the tools like Mirror of the Mind, because it's a magic, miraculous tool that we have that we're going to work with, and work with that in the healing process. We're going to have tools like the 3 scenes technique that you may have never practiced before. We're going to have the EMDR kind of technique or approach to desensitizing traumas in a very easy way. Some other tools that come in from other courses and other programs as well. We're going to share them with you and how they apply in the Silva teachings, so we can have a very holistic, comprehensive approach to healing and well-being. Before I go on any further, I do want to see what questions we might have here. Okay, good morning. Happy to be here. Me too. Let me see. Well, it's April. If you have long COVID, we need to work with that, because I know long COVID, we'll find some tools that we can help you to get yourself back on track and feel better again, because we don't want you to be bedbound. There's so much to life and living that we really want to go out there and enjoy our living experience to the fullest. And you need that energy, you need that health, and we need to stop saying zero energy and bedbound. So start saying every day in every way, I'm getting more and more energy to get out of bed and do the things I love to do. And picture yourself doing the things you love to do. This is just a very small start. If you start doing this now, and if you'd like to journal, you might just want to write over and over again. Every day I have more and more energy to do the things I love. Every day I have more and more, and just keep writing that one statement that depicts what you want to achieve in your life and how you want to live your life, and write it every day 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times. If you're bedbound, you have plenty of time to do that. So if you're bedbound, get a journal and start writing. Every day in every way, I have more and more, greater and greater energy to do the things I love to do in life. And just start working with that. And then we'll give you a lot more tools to work with as we go along. And if you're a longtime Silva graduate, then I really encourage you to practice what you've learned. I know I have met too many Silva graduates that the one thing they say to me is that, oh, when I took Silva, I was feeling so great. Life was wonderful. Everything was flowing so smoothly. And then I stopped practicing, and things aren't the same anymore. And my question is, why did you stop practicing? For heaven's sakes. I mean, this is the things that we need to be responsible for. If things work, you keep doing them. Why would you stop doing something that works for you so beautifully? And it's not, you don't even have to call it Silva. It's about the things you learned in Silva: relaxation, positive thinking, thinking before you act, resting well, just the imagery aspect. I mean, just tools that you learn need to be practiced on a daily basis. Thinking positively all the time, using your imagery to create the future that you want to to manifest. And if you're not doing that, yes, you fall prey to all kinds of other things. If you don't practice meditation, you're probably going to have a worse time when you get COVID, and long COVID can be an end result of that as well. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but it helps. Meditation is going to help to counter these things. And we need to be very frank about that. And that's another thing, is that I'm not the easiest person on you when it comes to achieving your goals. I'm going to be on you to achieve your goals, and I'm going to be very direct with you. If I need to be, I'm going to tell it to you like you is. My father used to say, you show me a graduate who's not practicing, I'll show you a graduate who has problems. I mean, really, you have so many tools to apply to overcome just about anything. If you really want to overcome it, then you will overcome it. I mean, I had long COVID too. I had COVID. I had COVID a few years back, and then it kept lingering on. And I see some of the effects ever so often, but I managed to be able to work with it the very moment my body begins to feel or down, or I begin to feel like, oh, I'm going to get, some kind of a symptom of some kind related to that I never, ever used to get before. Then I realized that I can overcome it more and more. And my body got healthier, stronger, until it came to the point that, I'm back to my usual self, and, running like I like to run, and, just doing the things I love to do. I love to do in my life. But you need to apply what you know works. And if you don't apply what you know works, like eating properly, exercising, meditating, picturing, imagery, prayer, that's going to be part of what you're doing. These are things that work. We need to keep doing them, okay? All right. And I'm just saying that with love in my heart, okay? Let me see. Good afternoon. Could I please enable automatic translation? Thank you for all. And Arena is listening to this, so hopefully she'll be able to make something like that happen. Okay. We do have a replay of this, so you'll be able to watch this as often as you need, whenever you need to, okay? Adriana, muchas gracias por ese regalo para la humanidad. Thank you for this gift that you have given to humanity. I don't speak English, she says. Can we do some things in Spanish or put subtitles, please? We're working on that, all right? So hopefully we'll be able to do that for you. Let me see. From Argentina, hello. There's a lot of Latinos who are here, and so we really need to work on that. In fact, I just got back from Spain, and I was talking to our Silva director in Spain. I had a meeting with her, and I even said to her, would she be wanting to come and participate with us to some capacity? Of course, she said yes. And Enrique, I love you too. Hi from Finland. Saludos. Con enorme cariño. Igualmente. Thank you, Daniel. And memoria Don Jose Silva, in memory of my father, who was great. Germany, hello. I'm happy you're here. Thank you. All right. So I think, okay, if you have any questions, please ask me questions. Like Pixie is asking, when using the mirror technique and you move the mirror to the left, do you turn your head to the left, or do you mentally move the mirror without turning your head? Thank you. It's whatever works, what works best for you. If you have been applying the mirror of the mind on a regular basis, and you've had success with the mirror of the mind, then you keep doing what is giving you success. Typically, I say, here's the problem in the white and the blue frame. You move the mirror towards your left, change the frame to white, and then project the outcome image. So when you project the outcome image, you're picturing it basically towards your left, because the left is the subjective future. In neurolinguistic programming, which is another technique that is out there, it has some very good methods that you can also learn. But what they say basically is that when your eyes move up and to the left, you're picturing something that you already know to be true. In the Silva method, we picture our future up and to your left, and I'll explain why during the course. Up and to the left, but we're picturing a future event, like we want to achieve health, for instance. So we're picturing it in a space where the brain recognizes it as already done. So that's going to be an important factor to remember. So I do, continue to recommend You have blue frame in front of you, and then the white frame to your left, because you have changed the color of the mirror from blue to white. And there you picture in the area where your brain says, this is real. This is how has already happened. This is where you picture all the things that you want to manifest. Okay. So yes, you can move towards your focus, mental focus towards the left a little bit. What is synchronicity? Hi, I'm happy you made it too. And then Catherine says, meditation sends the answers. Okay, neat guidance to overcome pseudo dysphagia. What will this problem? Yeah, I do believe that this program is going to help. You know, we always have a very, very, very conscious and very open approach to the idea that if it doesn't work for you, then you should just not be in the program and here's your money back. Because we really customize the program to make sure that we find a way that you will get the tools you need to make your goals come true. And we really want you to focus on that. And if it doesn't happen, so you'll be setting your goals before you start the program. If you don't reach your goals and you have a certain time frame that you want to reach them, then we're working with you and helping you along the way, and you're not getting what you want, I mean, really, then this program's not for you, or the content is not for you, and you shouldn't have to pay for it. So my goal is for you to be able to get the right tools that you need to be able to achieve those outcomes. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give you medicine. I'm not going to give you anything of that nature. It all has to do with the power that your body has and the power your mind and brain have to achieve the level of health that you want to achieve. Okay. So all that being said, you're more powerful than you realize. You influence your body greater than anything else can influence it. What you allow to come into your body, whether it's in impressions, thoughts, experiences, trauma, food, whatever it is, whatever you allow is going to influence your life and living experience. So we become very mindful of what's happening around you, internally and externally, so we can counter the things that don't work for us and get rid of them once and for all, and really focus on what we want to achieve, which is the kind of life that you want, quality of life, health, everything, because you deserve to have it all. So in seeing what you're writing down right here, for me, there's going to be a group of you who have different needs, and you're at different stages of your knowledge of the Silva method and your practice. It doesn't matter. All of you are going to benefit from this, because some of us need reminders as to what we need to achieve and what we need to account for in order to reach our goals. And we're going to help you along the way, every step of the way. Okay? Let me see. Is this program different than the one taught at Mind Valley? I'm not sure what Mind Valley is teaching. If they're teaching the Silva method, then the Silva method is a Silva method. I'm a Silva. My name is Laura Silva. I grew up from the beginning of my life. I was born into the methodology. I've been living this program all of my life, practicing it day in and day out. I use every single tool and technique. I don't think there's anybody else who has more wisdom or knowledge on the Silva method, who traveled with the founder himself and shared an office with him for like over 30 years. So yes, it's going to be different than the way that you're not going to get this kind of experience, this kind of knowledge. You can call me Grandma Lala Silva if you want to, because no one's going to have the kind of experience, knowledge, background that I have and I give to you and offer to you freely in this way. So it's going to be very different in the depth, the richness, the knowledge, the applications of the tools and techniques, and things that I have personally developed along the way, side by side with my father, that Mind Valley has no clue of. And in that way, I can say, yes, it's different. The Silva method tools techniques are all basically the same. And in a very superficial way that sometimes they are presented, they still work because they're that good. But there's so much depth and richness to the Silva method that I can bring into the experience that most anybody cannot. So I leave you with that. All right. Let me see. Thank you. What are some of the top tools you suggest for healing? I have tapes and just finished. Could you talk more about the glass of water method? We're going to talk more about the glass of water method in the next webinar on Monday. Yet, I would say always the tools and techniques that you have in the Silva method that you can utilize for healing are basically all of them, in a sense, because you need to relax and manage your stress effectively. You need to use imagery. You need to use the long relaxation, the centering exercise frequently, so you can let your body, really go into those deep inner states and allow the body to go through the healing process that it knows how to go through without you interfering in it. You also have the sleep control technique for those of you who are having challenges with sleep. If you don't sleep well, you're not going to heal well. So you need to have the sleep that you need to do that. You also are going to have the mirror of the mind. The mirror of the mind is key. It's key for any goal achievement, and everything in your life is basically a goal that you're achieving. And something that you're looking forward to. It's good. It's a goal. Achieving health is a goal, but the mirror of the mind is so specific for achieving outcomes, and healing, and health and healing is one of those big ones. So that is one that you're going to already incorporate. In the live seminars, you have the self-pain management technique called the glove anesthesia technique. That is another technique that you can utilize very effectively for self-pain management. The glass of water that you learn in the Silva method pretty much expands outward, not just for problem solving. It also goes outward to energizing the water and utilizing imagery to help you then drink the water to combat any health issues that you might have. So the glass of water would be another one that you can also utilize. So as you can see, there's a lot already within the Silva method, the basic lecture series, or the Silva Life system, that is going to contribute heavily towards the healing process in a very holistic way. So yeah, use the techniques. I go back to saying you have to use the techniques. And when it comes to the glass of water, we basically have two approaches. One of them is for problem solving, and the other one that we're going to focus in a lot more in is that you hold a glass of water and you energize it, because we're made predominantly of water. So when you energize the water molecules in the glass to send the message of health and healing into your body using imagery, then those water molecules begin to communicate with other water molecules in your body to help speed up the healing process. So it's a good one to go back and review. If you have the tapes, go back and review them and then apply it. Okay. Do you still have a favorite tool to shift sudden nervous energy? For example, a trigger, the three fingers technique. Yes, we absolutely still use the three fingers technique, but there's a lot of applications that you may not be aware of that we utilize in the three fingers technique that are going to be key for healing. So yes, we still utilize it. Go back and review the three fingers technique and use it as a way to encourage you to think positively, to eat the right foods, to go on exercise, to be more patient or calm, whatever you might need. The three fingers technique can help. So for those of you who have the audio programs, go back and review them. If you don't have them during the program, you're going to be given a lot of links to a lot of these different tools, techniques, and meditations, and you're going to have you'll be able to download written material that you're also going to have available to you. And this program will be always accessed. You can always access this program anytime in the future as well. So yeah, we really believe that you need to have the tools, as many tools as you can, available to you as easily as possible, so that you never have an excuse to say, I don't feel well. You have tools to work with, you have material to back it up, you have audios to help you along the way, and you have Zoom calls during the 8 weeks, and you have platform where we can communicate a one-on-one at any time. So we're always there for you at any given moment. With this program, I wanted to come to the point where you no longer have the right to complain. Because if you complain, that means you're not using your tools. I will give you so much information that you can't tell me, no, but no. Are you using the tools or not? And you'll say, oh, sometimes, no, maybe not. Well, I don't know if I'm doing it right. Whatever it is, then no. You're going to have enough tools that you will not be able to complain about your health issues anymore. Because all I'm going to say, are you doing this? Are you doing that? Are you doing? And if you say no to any one of them, it's because you're not doing everything. People often come to me and will say, I have done everything. I say, no, you haven't. Because you wouldn't be in the situation. You haven't either been willing to or have this enough desire to overcome, or you have maybe a fear of success, or you have some benefit for being sick or being miserable. I mean, there's all kinds of oddities that can happen, but you're not doing it all. Because if you were doing it all, you would be healthy, happy, strong, abundant, and joyous. Put it that way. All right. So what we want to give you is all the tools that you can put to work so that you don't ever have a reason to tell me or an excuse to say to defend why you're not well, why you're not happy, why you don't have love, or why you don't have abundance, be what it may. Okay. It really falls on you. And I want that to be your first lesson, even before we start the course. You are going to be held responsible and in a loving way. Okay, because you'll see that we're going to have this kind of really strong relationship that's going to be forming and building in the 8 weeks that we're going to be together day in and day out with a Zoom call once a week. You're going to see that I will lovingly make you responsible for your living experience. All right, I say that with all my heart. Okay, let me see, where am I here? Let me go back to where I was. Okay, three fingers. We have the links to the program. You're going to find that we have special offers as well, and early bird offers. So we make it very, very affordable for everyone. We really do work with everyone who's in the group, and you're going to be surprised it's not going to be as much as you think for 8 weeks of time. But go ahead and write to us, write to Irina, who will take on your questions about the monies and how much a course costs. But I promise you, we'll make it as easy as possible for everyone to be part of the group, because more than anything else, we want for you to achieve your outcomes. I mean, you deserve to have it, okay? So we'll work with you. Let me see. It's not the same as what Laura Silva can offer. It's not the same at all. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you. It's just thank you, Laura, for my perseverance. Catherine, I really appreciate that you're saying that. I really do. Then I'm really upset that my Valley selling Silva method without even paying a penny to Laura. That's okay. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Okay. That's the one good thing that I have is I have abundance, and I have knowledge, and I have a lot of desire to share that with you all. So I don't need anybody's money in that sense. We do need to operate our businesses and stuff like that. And maybe that's why we offer it the way we do, and we work with you as much as we can. But don't be upset about that part. I'm good there, all right? Let them do whatever they want. My husband has this wonderful belief that he says, God gives me so much because I help so many. And I thought, wow, what a wonderful belief to have. And I've been with him for over 30 some years. I kind of feel that way. I mean, we've been such good partners together, and we have so much love and goodness, and we kind of like have adopted each other's beliefs now. And I truly believe that the reason God gives me so much, or the universe, however you want to refer to that wonderful energy, that wonderful frequency or vibration, the reason we have so much is because we help so many. If I didn't have so much, it would be a little more challenging, but it makes it easier that way. So we're good, okay? Not to worry. I am Silva. Yes, thank you for showing up. Thank you, Paula. Hello. Okay. Hello. I have a question, please. Okay, Ned, you can ask anytime you want. Okay, how to cure unconscious limiting beliefs? It's hard to track them because they're unconscious. You know what, Melinda? I'm not going to answer that right now because our time is kind of short. It's just a webinar to talk about the holistic approach that Silva takes to achieve our outcomes. But I promise you, we will cover those what you call unconscious beliefs, and you're going to notice how they're very conscious. In fact, I'll give you a little clue. Think about what you really, really want and don't have. And then when you think about what I really, really want and don't have, just know there's a belief behind that. There's a statement that you say to yourself over and over about why you don't have it. Let's say I really want to find love, but I don't have that special soulmate, that special person in my life, and I really want that person, but I don't have them. But why? Why don't you have them? And you might answer, oh, because all the good ones are gone. Why? Why haven't you achieved the level of health that you want? No, because with long COVID, it doesn't happen. It's long COVID. You're going to be sick for a long time. Why haven't you gone over that particular health condition? Oh, no, because with this problem, it doesn't work that way. Oh, my headaches are different than yours. No, no, no. I always get these. So you see what I'm saying? If you say, what do I really want but don't have? And you say, I want this, and then ask yourself, why don't I have it? And notice what your belief is. They're not that unconscious. You've just been ignoring them for a long time. You've just been accepting the fact that you can't do anything about it, but that's a belief in itself. So, Melinda, we will get to that, okay? How can I make myself able to think positive all the time? You have a tool in the Silva method. Maybe you're new to the Silva method, but we have a tool called the mental health cleaning approach. And basically, you train yourself to recognize your negative thoughts or emotions or feelings. And you simply say to yourself, cancel, cancel. And right away, substitute it with a more positive thought, emotion, or feeling. And when you do that on a regular basis, and you might have to just catch yourself and catch yourself and catch yourself in the beginning a lot, you'll notice that they start happening less and less because you start training yourself. And I would say give yourself 3 days. You start training yourself to be able to stay more positive, because if not, you're going to catch yourself anyway and correct it. So you might as well just do it right from the very beginning. And yes, it is important to think positively all the time, because it doesn't mean that you're being ignorant or naive to the reality around the world. It just means that you have chosen to focus your time and energy on positive things. You choose where you want to place your focus. And so you can say cancel, cancel to everything else and come back and keep your focus on the positive, on the positive, on the positive. And you might be tested. You might be, your own body, brain, and mind might be testing you for a few days. But once you win that little test, and you will, if you stick to it, everything we do has to do with consistency and persistency along the way, and congruency, because the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So you need to be persistent and consistent as you go along. So you can be very congruent in the way you think, believe, behave, and by the time you know it, all these things are going to fall into place, okay? So there is a way of doing it, all right? There's so many courses in the website. Where do I start? You start with the Silva method, and if you want to start here, you can start here for the healing process. But if you're referring to Silva courses, which, quite frankly, I've been around doing this for over 50 years. And many other courses have come into place since Silva. Neuro-linguistic programming, theta trainings, they go on and on and on and on and on. There's a lot of them. And they all copy, not all, I wouldn't say no, but most other courses have copied the Silva methodology in some way or another because it works the best. And I'm not saying this one because I'm a Silva. I'm saying it because I'm a master NLP practitioner as well. I'm a master hypnotist as well. I do a lot of other things as well, but Silva is my choice because this is one for me has always worked the best because it's so comprehensive when you understand the depth of it, its beauty. And that's what I plan to share with you as well. So if you haven't taken anything at all whatsoever, I would always say start with the Silva Life System. And then you take your time doing other things as well, because now you have developed the foundation for everything else you do that follows, no matter what course it may be, Silva or not, to be more effective. So I always remember every time I took a different course somewhere, because I have many certifications, my choice is Silva though. Anytime I took it, the commentary was Silva graduates are the best students. Why? Because they had the very strong foundation that was very well grounded for everything else to work. Okay, so start with the Silva Life System, right? So wonderful to see you too, Minnie. Can Can someone without Silva method knowledge be able to take this course you're talking about? Yes, you can. And because again, we cater to the individual as well as the group. So we'll be, although we have like group sessions with the Zoom calls, and we have a lot of lessons to be shared. The lessons that you're going to get will have a lot of information that you, as an intelligent being, are very capable of following and then incorporating. If you need anything extra, because you say, I don't get this right, or I don't have this, or whatever, we will send it to you. All right. So we'll be with you every step of the way. And if you need something that you're lacking to feel more confident, or a different meditation of some kind, sometimes we even create meditations for you specifically. If it's absolutely necessary, we'll even do that. So again, I say yes, you can, but then you be the judge as you start. You can decide for yourself. Then we'll do everything to make it easy for you to get the full benefit and then some. Okay. Let me see. Are you talking about the Silva Mind Body Healing Program? No, I'm not talking about the Silva Mind Body Healing Program, but some of the content we'll share is in the Silva Mind Body program, just a small piece. In fact, what I just shared is what probably as far as I'm going to go with the Silva Mind Body Healing Program, other than maybe you having the manual or a meditation to support it. So that whole program is just it's going to be maybe referred to or addressed in some way, but it's not that program. It's totally different. Okay, it's a combination of everything else that we put together that comes and works more specifically for the healing process. And some tools I have never recorded before. Okay, and some videos, we're going to do some videos for you that will demonstrate some of the healing approaches that are really basically nowhere else. Okay, thank you so much. I work with a lot of your programs. I donate. Okay, thank you so much. Let me see. From Ireland, hello. When doing the 3-2-1 method, you have suggestions. If I can't visualize 3-2-1, I've tried drawing the numbers in bright colors, but I can't see them in my mind. You don't have to see them in your mind, in your eye. You know what a 3 looks like, right? I mean, it's got the 3 like that. You know what a 2 looks like. That's what memory is. Memory is a knowing of something you have seen before, a memory of something that you have seen. You've seen a number 1 a million times, so you don't have to see it. In fact, we don't even want you to see it. We want you to picture it. So picturing is very different than seeing and or dreaming. So when you see, you use your eyes, and your brain frequency is a high beta frequency. When you picture, your brain frequency slows down, and you're picturing something. When we talk about visualization, it's like you're recalling the way something has looked before. You know what a 3 looks like? Say 3, 3, 3, and you can remember what it looks like. Remember what a 2 looks like. Remember what a 1 looks like. Now, dreaming is a little bit different. Dreaming happens at the rapid eye movement frequencies and some of those other interesting frequencies that occur during your dream sleep cycles. And the experience you have with dreaming and that kind of imagery is more like picturing, but they happen maybe a little bit more vividly for some people. But if you want to develop your visualization capabilities, go back and recall past memories and describe them in detail and color. Go back and recall your dreams and picture them all over again and describe them in detail and color. So the more detail, color, action that you add to your imagery, little by little, they become more and more clear. But you're not going to, in any way, shape, or form, you're not going to see it, because see only happens with your eyes. You're going to picture it, or you're going to remember it. Okay? So just relax. Just say 333. You know that 333 means for relax the body. Then take another deep breath, say 222. You know what the 2 looks like, and you know that 2 is for relaxing the mind by thinking of a tranquil and passive scene. And you do 111, and then you say, okay, now I'm in my cozy space. Now I can do whatever I want from here. Use a technique, do imagery, go travel far away places, whatever you want to do. Picture healing and yourself healthy, whatever. All right? So you're doing fine. Don't be concerned about it. You're doing fine. I can't believe that this popped up in my feed for you, YouTube on the weekend. So say, oh, good. Divine intelligence, I am with you. What is the best technique or method for someone who has multiple problems at once, like illness and bills that have, you know what? You have to practice that. I can personally do several things in one meditation session. But if not, you're going to take what's most important first. Maybe the bills are more immediate and you can do paying your bills and attracting more income or whatever it might be. Picture yourself paying the bills comfortably and in a very healthy manner, while you're very healthy physically as well. So you can combine things, but you're going to need to experiment with that. If you're asking these questions, it's because you're either new to the Silva method or you haven't been practicing these tools that frequently or often enough to get enough feedback on your own to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So start practicing. Practice picturing doing them both, do one and then do the next technique, or make a combination of you in a very healthy state, paying your bills happily because you have the money to pay for them while you're also very healthy. So there's a way of making it happen that we'll be discussing if that's a challenge for you. But absolutely, you can make it happen. Okay. I mean, there's not, the whole idea is that we want to make sure that we correct all of our different challenges. Take care of our bills, take care of our health, take care of our family, take care of our happiness, take care of all these things because you deserve to have it all and live smoothly. And if you're not, something is blocking it. And there's a part of you that you yourself and your thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, and your expectations are also playing a role in there. I mean, why don't we have enough abundance? We have to figure that out and attract more abundance to your living experience. All these things we'll talk about because really start picturing yourself paying all your bills while you're still also in a very healthy physical state. Okay. You can combine the two if you wanted to. All right. Gonna check the story, tell myself, why don't I have the things I want in my life? Okay, good. Belinda, that's a good start. Okay. You love how I love how my father said, if this is used for negative or evil intentions, it will not work. If you think about it in that sense, uh, negativity seems to preside more like in the physical and world. He used to always say that negativity it belongs to the physical world. It can only go out as far as your aura, which is also physical in nature, that carries a lot of information that as far as out as your aura can reach. And the aura, he would say, goes out about 25 or 24 feet all the way around you. So anything within your aura, you can influence with your thinking, positive or negative, as long as it's within the aura. That's why it's so important to keep your thoughts very positive, especially with the people that you care for, people you go visit at the hospital, when your children and grandchildren are with you, it's all positivity, 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 because you don't want them to be exposed to or influenced by your negative feelings or thoughts or whatever it might be. But outside the aura, in the spiritual realm, it doesn't transmit. And negativity usually has to utilize some physical sense in order for it to travel and to reach you. And the aura is a physical aspect that can also be one of those vehicles to carry the negativity. But what you see, hear, taste, touch, smell, or feel, like in the sense of the aura, can influence you negatively. But beyond that, it doesn't. You cannot influence anyone in a negative way beyond that range. That's where it's all this positivity and goodness. And if it was possible, I think we would have no bad people in the world, basically, because they'd all be zapped out. Think about it, I mean, if the mind could influence negativity in that way, it would have done so already. So it can be done. All right. We'll talk more about that anyway. Let me see here. You're welcome. Let me see. Thank you, Abraham. Irina is going to offer more information. You'll get some follow-up information on the course and prices and special early bird prices and all kinds of stuff that you can talk to. And if you need to talk to her about special arrangements, that's also doable. Van a recibir un folleto, un email hablando del curso y hablando de todo lo que se tiene que hacer para inscribirse al curso también. Okay. Say that in Spanish. All right. What link do we need to access? Take the currently offered date. You'll get that right away. So once we get done with this in a few minutes, we'll probably get done with it. This is very new to me. Is the method primarily programmatic and supported by science, similar to Dr. Jose Dispenza's Actually, yes, and I've worked on the sideline doing some filming of some projects with Dr. Dispensa, but he incorporates a lot of the things, as you may have known, with a positive imagery, positive thinking, working with belief structures. You are the placebo, which is the mind-body connection, and how you can really make yourself heal and get better. So a lot of what he writes about, especially when you talk about some of his books, starting with the placebo is you and onward, is very, very much connected with the teachings of Silva for the past 80 years. My father started his research in 44, and in 1966 he presented his very first Silva class. I mean, add up the numbers. It's been around for a long time, and we've had a long time to be able to evolve it further and carry it and move it forward and influence people throughout the world. So yeah, it is science based. That was very important for my father to have the methodology be science based. And so it is definitely a science based, time tested methodology. So I'm happy that you're here for being new to this whole thing. It's about time you get on the bandwagon, okay? Let me see. I got it. Thank you so much. Okay, good, good. Um, no luck, yes. This is about Yeah, we'll have some lessons about the aura because we use the aura of the human energy field in order to do healing as well and laying on of hands, a technique that you're also going to learn, both rapid methodology or more developed, longer version of the healing approach for more serious health challenges and energizing water. So yes, the aura is definitely going to play a role here. All right, I'm looking forward to having this wonderful journey as well. Great. Okay, well, I think we've kind of covered a lot of ground here, and I'm getting myself all excited and ready to work with this program. I really totally enjoy these long extended trainings. That's really how my father used to do the Silva methodology in the beginning. He would go once a week to a location and teach like 4 hours of the training. Hours the training was 48 hours at a time, and he would do 4 hours once a week, and then the next day he'd go somewhere else, the next day somewhere else, and then driving, because at first he started in Texas and then went to Mexico, and then word spread out like wildfire after that, and he was like all over the place. But in the beginning he had to do it like just in small segments, and he found that that was the best way people were able to learn in segments that they could practice throughout the week, and sometimes even 2 weeks. And once they got really comfortable with those techniques that they learned in the very first 4 hours, then you would move on to the second 4 hours and then the third 4 hours. And this could take 10, 11, 12, weeks at a time in order to cover all the course content. And it was a very effective way. And so I totally get it, because this is what we're doing in these courses that last 8 to 12 weeks sometimes. And we hang out together, we get to know each other, we have a lot of fun together, we share with each other, we become kind of like buddies, and we make some new friends of like-minded people. And it's very exciting to have this energy coming together, and not just me rooting for you, but everyone in the group is rooting for each other and helping each other along the way and offering additional information, and just a wonderful collection of people that with so much knowledge and so much wisdom. Some people are medical doctors, others are lawyers, others are faith practitioners. I mean, we have such a myriad of people come together to learn the tools, and they come with their knowledge and wisdom as well, and we all can blend in a lot of stuff. It's really quite lovely. Okay, so I just want to say I'm happy that you came today, and I look forward for us to come together again. We have another webinar, I believe, on the 21st. And in that one, we'll have a little bit more in-depth information about the courseware and what's going to be offered in the 8-week program. But you're going to have a lot of information already from Irina, and she'll send that to you. And then the program starts on the 21st of April, and we'll kick it off then, and we'll have a lot of fun together. And you'll see, and if it's not what you want, you don't have to be here. You can move out, and you can do whatever you need to do. But our goal is to provide you with what you need in order for you to achieve your goal of health, and to know that you have the tools, and to feel confident in your application of those tools, not only for yourself, but for your loved ones. Okay. So I hope to see you again, not next week, on the 21st. Look forward to it very much. And I really loved having you all here, and come on back, okay? All right, see you guys later. And if you have any questions, you can keep asking on the chat, and we'll be happy to go ahead and answer those questions, okay? All right, see you guys. Bye.